New York, weighing in at 118 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Davey Vasquez. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the all-white trunks, weighing in at 118 pounds, from South Philadelphia, here is Jolton Jeff Chandler.
Well, Chandler voted the most promising fighter here last year, right, Russ?
He had 6 fights here, and he won them all 5 by knockout, and he'd like to be the first bantamweight champion from this part of the United States in the last 30 years. In fact, from the United States in the last 30 years. I think, unfortunately, Huey's got an awfully tough act to follow, and a lot of people who may not like Chandler's stick-and-move fights to begin with are going to be even more dissatisfied tonight, perhaps, because it's following a toe-to-toe brawl for 10 rounds, which we just saw between Mann and Bennett. But you never know. I think Chandler, if he keeps progressing like he did in 1978, will be in the top 10 before the end of the year.
A little fight going on here between Davey Vasquez and Jeff Chandler. Reach advantage will be in Chandler's favor.
There's going to be a lot of movement in this fight. Most of the top bantamweights are Mexicans who walk in with a plodding style, but if Chandler's going to move up the ladder, he's going to have to learn how to fight all styles. And while I wasn't crazy about making this fight because it may not make Chandler look that good, it's the kind of style he's going to have to cope with if he wants to go all the way up the ladder to the title. Vasquez has been around. He's 29 years old. He's fought the best bantamweights in the world since 1969. As I said, he's the former North American champ. He's not a hard puncher. He's got a lot of guts. He often makes good fights, let's say that. I've never really seen Vasquez in a bad fight, but with the styles that we're looking at now, it's hard to say.
A lot of movement here in round 1, as Russell indicated. Little slip. Tommy Reed rubs off the gloves. Davey Vasquez. One thing that we've seen in previous bouts, Chandler is quick, but we'll have to get off here and certainly get off a couple of combinations as well.
Chandler's very smart. He's always in there thinking every minute of the way. A few weeks ago, he was down at the Spectrum to watch some films of Vasquez's 10-round decision loss to Sean O'Grady, who's a little bit taller than Chandler, a real Mutt and Jeff fight. Chandler thought Vasquez earned the decision, but O'Grady got it in Madison Square Garden. But it was the perfect kind of fight to scout Vasquez, a short man against a tall man. Vasquez has only been knocked out once in his entire career. That was by Lupe Pintor, considered to be the outstanding bantamweight contender out of Mexico, who incidentally also knocked out Baby Kid Chocolate in 2 rounds.
Opening right hook to the ear, but more noise than anything else. Boy, Chandler got off a quick left there, Russ. Did not do any damage. 35 seconds to go in round 1 of the scheduled 10-round bantamweight bout. Russ, I guess the knock against bantamweights and you know, feathers, the fact that in this town, you know, they really can't draw flies as a rule.
Well, I don't really subscribe to that theory. People used to say that about featherweights and junior lightweights until Tyrone Everett came along. My theory is that if you have a good fighter, it doesn't matter what division he's in. They used to say the light heavyweights were a dead division. Now it's the hottest division in boxing.
Yeah, that was one of the points I wanted to discuss with you as well, how a town such as Philadelphia, known as the city of middleweights, all of a sudden becomes the city of light heavyweights, or the area of light heavyweights anyway. And that we have the champion Mike Rossman. Certainly Richie Cates has performed well. We've got Johnson and also the North American Boxing Federation light heavyweight champion
Matt Franklin. It's just a thing that goes in cycles, Huey. There's no real way you can describe it. For years, Philadelphia was the middleweight boxing capital of the world because we had a lot of good middleweights here who were willing to fight anybody. And Marvin Johnson came in here, Matthew Franklin developed, Mike Rossman, then it was the light heavyweights. I think in the next year we're going to see a lot of lightweights coming up, 135-pounders. There's about 5 or 6 good ones right now.
Pretty tough to score that first round, Russ. Got to give it to the aggressor.
A slight edge maybe to Vasquez or a draw. I thought he threw more punches. I don't recall Chandler landing too many good ones other than that left hook he nailed Vasquez with late in the round. But Chandler started slow in his last fight against Rafael Gandavilla from Mexico, who was rated number 12 in the world. He picked them apart and finally stopped them in the 9th round. Chandler caught Vasquez with a beautiful right hand walking in right there.
And just about 10 seconds before, zipped off a right as well, but didn't cause any damage. At least maybe at this time he's got Vasquez thinking.
I'd say if Chandler can dominate Vasquez the way he's been dominating his recent opponents, that he's going to be on his way for sure. Interesting to watch the disparity in experience between the previous bout and these two guys. Are really a world of difference. Sometimes you get that. The fighters who have the finesse and the style and the poise, not always do they put up the best fight, but I'd say this fight is surprisingly, this is a good fight. There's a lot of thinking going on, a lot of good punches. Chandler's starting to find that he can hit Vasquez walking in with right hands, and Vasquez is trying to neutralize that himself. But you'll notice Chandler firing a lot of right hands now in this round as Vasquez comes in with his head down. Chandler's also got to learn to punch up like Bennett should have in the last fight, not punch down. There was a nice...
Vasquez caught him with that left going away.
You got to hustle when you're in there with Vasquez because he's always in shape and he's going to be hustling for 10 rounds. Although he hasn't fought since August 24th when he beat Jimmy Farrell in Boston. Ironically, that was part of the show when Briscoe lost to Hagler down here. It was a live show in Boston. They picked up the Briscoe-Hagler fight on closed-circuit television. And Vasquez fought the main event in the Boston Garden.
Chandler getting off here, but Vasquez countering very well. 20 seconds to go in round 2. Plenty of action so far. It's 10-round bantamweight bout. Maybe at this point, Russ, Jeff Chandler getting more confident as the bout progresses.
Also a tough one to score, but Chandler was landing some right hands inside, but Vasquez was still catching him with those sloppy left hooks. And that's Art Curley leaning over Vasquez, his manager and trainer, and probably one of the finest cut men in New York City. And to Art's right is Don Turner, who lives in Norristown and commutes daily to New York, also a trainer of many fighters at Leeson's gym in Manhattan. And that's Joe Belfiore working over Chandler in the other corner, and next to Joe, hidden by Chandler's head, is his brother Nick Belfiore, co-manager, along with K.O. Becky O'Neill of South Philadelphia. I think there are several members of the Jolt and Jeff Chandler fan club here tonight with their T-shirts with Jolt and Jeff's picture on the cover. Chandler has to get just a little more aggressive, otherwise Vasquez can take the play away from him and he'll never get into his rhythm.
I thought he started to pick it up a little bit about the midway point of the second round, Russ. Let's see what develops here. Nope. Jeff Chandler out of South Philadelphia, yet to lose a professional bout against Davey Vasquez. That's the key, really, is to get under, work some uppercuts. Certainly can't score to the body. Oh, 2 shots to the head of Vasquez by Jeff Chandler.
You notice Vasquez comes right back with some left hooks. Jeff's really keying in on that straight right hand on Vasquez every time he comes in.
Here's how Vasquez in a little bit of trouble there, Russell.